Now, make of that list what you will, as at the moment, no empirical data to back it up. But there is a list you must take seriously, and that is the 7 nominees from the Best Actress category of the African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards, which is just days away. Now we will start our preview from the Best Actress category today, and the nominees are Chioma Chukwuka for 7 Doors, Bimbo Ademoye for Anikulapo, The Rise of the Spectre, Bugbemi Ejeye for Farmer's Bride, Uzoamaka Onuoha for Agemo, Uzoamaka Aniuno for Phoenix Fury, Uche Montana for Thin Line, and the veteran Hilda Dokubo for Wives on Strike 3.
You have 7 days, 5 million.
7 nominees, 1 prize. Who will nip it? That's the big question that I will be asking my guest, Tomi Falade, a showbiz journalist and live editor with the Daily Independent newspapers. Many thanks for joining us on the program, Tomi.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's dive straight into it. 7 nominations for 1 category. Isn't that an overstretch?
Yeah. So I don't think it's an overstretch. I think that it just goes to support the fact that there are a lot of movies, great movies, being produced in Nollywood, and the world is watching. That's just what it means for me. I think that the number of nominees suggests that there's a lot of content out there that is great and is worthy of recognition. So.
Okay, that's a fine way to look at it. Now, how tight is this category? You know, we have from veterans like Hilda Dokubo to young actresses like Uzoamaka.
Two Uzoamakas, actually.
Yes, the 2 Uzoamakas, actually. So how tight is this category for you?
I think it's a very tight category. One, because there are a couple of them, of the nominees, who have won AMVCAs, not necessarily as best lead actresses, but in other categories. And I think that because of that, and because of the fact that people are watching their work actively, you know, it's one thing to have done a film in 10 years ago and be known for it, you know. But it's another thing to constantly be in the faces of people. It's one thing to be on the big screens, constantly talking to people, constantly engaging with your audience. So these actresses are not, a lot of them are not small fry. They are big fry, and because of that, the competition is very tight, I think so. I think it's very tight.
Are you surprised that the category is dominated by all Nigerian nominees? This is supposed to be a Pan-African awards, and we see all the nominees in these categories to be from Nollywood. Are you surprised?
So there's something that we had this. I had an editor who used to say that Nigerians, whatever they decide to do, they dominate it, and it's the same thing with our films. Our films are beginning to dominate globally. Now, recently there was a YouTube press event where they revealed that a lot of the numbers that are coming from Nigeria are being watched in stuff being watched in the diaspora, not just necessarily home. The streams are not necessarily coming from within Nigeria; they're coming from outside, which means that people want to see what is going on in Nigeria. So it is not unfounded that our films are being nominated in large numbers in an African film, you know, award system. It makes a lot of sense because we are doing a lot of content. We are doing a lot of films. The number of films that are churned out in Nollywood on a daily basis, not just Nollywood now, in Nigeria, in the Nigerian space, on a daily basis, is phenomenal. And it just goes to reflect on the same way that our actresses and the nominees are getting, the numbers of the nominees are expanding. Instead of maybe 3 nominees from Nigeria, 2 nominees from Nigeria, we are taking it all because we are doing the work. So if you are doing the work, you can't deny us the nominations just because we want to include the whole of Africa. The entire Africa has to also step up. If Nigeria is doing too much, everybody should do too much too. The world is not complaining anyway, so why should we stop there?
Okay, let's digress a bit now, and just for a very short time. Do you suppose that we are taking full advantage of this dominance, attention, and global visibility that Nollywood is enjoying at the moment?
So I don't think that we are doing enough. I don't think that we are doing enough. We have this great platform that a lot of times we don't realize it. Yes, Nollywood is big. Yes, Nollywood is big, but we've been saying that for years. There needs to be more. I think that filmmakers, the producers, the stakeholders themselves, the actors, need to also begin to think global. We need to think beyond the shores of Nigeria that, oh, the audience enjoys it. Yes. The audience has already enjoyed it. What is the next step for us as a film industry? What can we achieve again? How can we make Nollywood the kind of power, the kind of world power that Hollywood is? These are the conversations that need to come out of our success as an industry. Yes, we have the success already, but we are not at the peak yet. I think there's a lot more. There's a lot more places to go, and I think that maybe with awards like this, with like the AMVCA's, the AMA, if we see that okay, we've done this and we've conquered that, maybe that will spur us to do more. Maybe.
All right, back to the awards conversation. Uzamaka Onuoha already won this category at the Afrif Globe Awards. Do you think this might swing the award in her favor?
Not necessarily, because if one was to look at it in a way, yes, she's won that category, but she wasn't nominated alongside Seven Doors, for example. She wasn't nominated alongside a lot of the films that have been nominated. For example, a film like Farmer's Bride, it's been nominated. Yes, Farmer's Bride didn't have the push or the noise that a lot of the films that were also nominated in the category had. But it doesn't make it a less phenomenal film, you know? So just the fact that she has won that award, it's on another platform, and that's fine. We give her that. That's all well and good. But on this new platform, she needs to, there's a lot more actresses that are doing phenomenal work. For someone like Hilda, for example, she's been there and back and there again, you know? And if we're going to judge by that, I would say someone like Hilda would be the obvious choice.
So I'm taking it that your bet is on Hilda Dokubo after all, right?
Not necessarily. For example, a film, if it was a non-voting, if it was a voting category, I would say a film like Seven Doors would win. If it was a voting category, because the audience was talking a lot about it. But it's not a voting category. It's not up to us, the voters. It's up to a jury. And the jury is going to look beyond what we love. They're going to look at a lot of things that I'm not privy to anyway. So let's leave it at that.
Okay, I understand that it's not a public voting category. And now that you've mentioned Seven Doors again and replaying how Chioma Chukwuka played that Igbo queen in a Yoruba land and how she navigated the culture and language and all of that, I'm beginning to think she stands a big chance, don't you think?
I think so. I think she does sound she stands a big chance, but we cannot undermine the work of all the other actresses in that category. They've all done beautiful work, and yes, Chioma did phenomenally, but I think that if it was, like I said, if it was a voting category, I would put my money on Chioma. If I was a betting person, I would bet on Chioma. But there's Bimbo Ademoye, for example, is not new to this game. It's not new to the award game. She knows what she's doing, and she has proven it over time. And she has gotten the awards to prove that she knows what she's doing. So for some reason, some people might put their money on Bimbo Ademoye, for example. But it doesn't take away the fact that many of the others might just be the surprise of the year and just, take home the award. So I don't want to bet on anybody, but if it was a voting category, I would put my money on Chioma.
Thank you very much for your perspective on the show today, even though you stylishly waved off who your bet is going to be on. But you know what? Thank you anyways.